Good morning, everybody. We're back. I'm back. Back on Oneida, back jigging walleyes. I got my buddy Don in the back of the boat with me this morning. We were kind of undecided coming out this morning. The wind's a little wonky. It's about 8 degrees out here. We're expecting snow later today. It's
A little fall fishing.
It was 50 degrees even when we left the house this morning. The river's full of fog. It's a little warmer out here because the water temp's warmer. But I will tell you that I've been gone since Saturday morning, and the water temp's dropped almost 4 degrees in those days. So these cool evenings are going to start sucking the heat. And do I think that it's going to stay cool the rest of the summer? No. It's August. August and September always get hot, and I'm sure it'll. But if these cool evenings are here to stay, things will start happening fast. You know, if this starts dipping down into the 60s before Labor Day, I'm assuming that means it's going to be early. But we'll keep our eye on that.
Same size, a little bit bigger.
Touch bigger. So we have found. Yeah. So that's, I don't know. You've had 4 or 5.
This is 5.
That's 5. I've had 2 or 3. One of which would have been a keeper so far. So. Don's throwing a blade. I'm throwing the glow goby. So we're going to see what happens. We're on the 130 drift right at the moment. We started at 133 and looked around. We didn't see anything. We came out here to 130. We didn't see anything, but we started catching a few shorts, and then we went up shallower up on the hump before it drops down. And we did find the couple bigger fish up there. So we're going to, once we finish this, we're going to go back up and make another drift up there and see what happens. But like I say, it's Wednesday morning. I'm back on Oneida, back in fresh water, and I'm ready to go. So it's going to be a good week. Stay tuned. Morning, everybody. It's 7 a.m. Time for your update. The guy in the back's on fire. Look, he's locked up right now. We've had a good hour. We've had a real good hour. We've had, I don't even know, 15 walleyes. Only a couple have been keepers. A lot of shorts we're weeding through.
I got you, don't worry.
Wow, good one. Don's given a few of the walleyes this morning free proctological exams. He's like, Mr. Walleye, I see you're due for a colonoscopy this morning.
Dr. Vinny Bombats.
The simple fact, though, is, guys, I'll tell you, and I get asked this question a lot. The simple fact is that, you know, these walleyes are curious creatures, just like a. Bring him a little bit closer. Yep.
The keeper, just 50.
Yep. These walleyes are curious, just like if you're playing with your house cat. So they see that thing jigging and going like this on the bottom. They come over and look at it. Now they'll get right over the top of it. You come up and jig again, and you can poke them sometimes. You don't mean to. You certainly aren't trying to. But especially with a jigging rap, the percentage of foul hooked fish is much greater than almost anything else. Is what it is. Got a pretty good picture right here too. You can see. So we're up on top. The yellow is shallow. We're up on top of this structure. We're drifting off of it like this, and you can see the paving of them now. Now, when we first got here, we didn't see that kind of activity. Matter of fact, we almost didn't stay here. We started looking. We found one good group on bait. I said, "Oh well, let's give it a shot. We'll stop and see what happens." And it's worked out. because I bet you, like I say, that's probably got to be, that's the second keeper. I don't know. Maybe we're more at like 20 fish.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd say between 15 and 20.
between 15 and 20 walleyes. Don had a big, giant sunny, bigger in his hand. Couple perch. I had a big perch go over 11 inches. So it's been a fun morning so far. Which brings me to my second point. And I said something to Don this morning. I've had a couple comments, a few snarky, about shorts. Here's my take on catching shorts. Let's talk about walleyes, catching short walleyes. You get into an area and you start catching fish and they're all shorts. A lot of people would say, oh, well, you got to move. Sure, okay. And you can go find another school of fish. And my thing is, you're still getting bit. You're still presenting, offering, whatever you want to say to that school of fish, and they're reacting in a positive way. Now, in every school, the small ones are usually the ones that go hell-bent for lecture to grab your stuff first. And those big ones always hang back. So when you leave these schools of fish, or when you leave these areas where you're catching nothing but shorts, that to me doesn't mean that that's all that's there. That just means that you can't get through those shorts to get to the bigger ones. Am I telling you not to move? No. Oh, I just ate a bug. Sorry, that was horrible. I'll have to edit that out. It went right down the old pie hole. That's two. That's my protein for the morning. Somebody made a comment on Facebook the other day. My buddy Just Paul was out with me, and he caught his first walleye on a jigging rap style bait. And I took a picture of him because he was proud. So was I. I was happy for him. I used it as a thumbnail. 99% of the time, if I have a guest with me, I have a picture of them holding a fish for the thumbnail. A guy on Facebook says to me, you know, you'd probably have more people watch your videos if you didn't use a thumbnail picture of a small one. All right, come on. Really? Not to mention, I'll use thumbnail pics of anything I want to. But when you're catching fish, you have to decide whether you think that you can do better somewhere else on something else, or whether you just have to weed through small ones. Sometimes you just have to weed through small ones. And to automatically say that the whole school of fish that you're on or that you're around is all small ones, I think is a little short-sighted. Now, maybe that means you got to step up and go bigger with your presentation. I'm not sure. There's any number of ways. But these fish are coming in all sizes. We've had them from 7 inches to 16 inches this morning. You just got to keep weeding through them. But I would rather be getting bit than not. You know, and if the other day fluke fishing on the party boat, I caught 50 fish and I only had 2 keepers. If you asked me, Matt, would you rather have only caught 2 fish and they both be keepers? Or would you rather have caught 50 and 2 were keepers? Me personally, I would always go with 50 and 2 keepers. And maybe not everybody's like that. Comment below, and let's talk about, that'll be today's discussion. Let's talk about, would you rather be, he's on again, look at him. Would you rather be catching fish, or do you only want to catch keeper-sized fish and you'd be willing to sacrifice numbers for quality? Put that in the...
Spin it. Oh!
It's the jumping side hook perch. Well, he hit it because he's got one in the
mouth. Yep.
Yeah. All right. We'll catch up with you at 8 a.m. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 8 o'clock hour. Let's see. Fishing slowed down a little bit for us between 7 and 8, between the last update. I still think we've had 5 or 6 walleyes, maybe 1 keeper, a couple perch, swing and a miss here or there. we're still in the same spot. We're drifting. The wind switched, and it was south all morning, and now it turned around and came out of the east northeast. And so we're going up on top of the structure at 130, south of 130, but we're up on top of the flat, drifting off the edge out into the deeper flat. So we're starting in 16, and we're ending in 23. There's been plenty of fish. And like I say, this morning, we've had to really weed through them to find some keepers, but we're on our last drift here, and then we're going to slide out and fish the dredge piles out in the channel. They usually hold fish, especially in this east wind. So we'll let you know. We got another hour to fish. We're going to fish till 9 this morning, so we got one more update. We'll wrap everything up, hopefully get a few more live action scenes, and then call it a morning. So we'll talk to you in an hour. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's 9 a.m. Wednesday. Do you know where your fish are? We do. So we made a move. Don and I made a move. We slipped out into the channel, and we're on. The drift is perfect. Let me tell you right now. And we have center punched about 6 different dredge pile humps out here in the channel. And 2 things: the quality of fish and the size of them are far better than it was where we were first thing this morning. To include the perch out here, and we've seen multiple big schools of perch that if you were perch fishing, I guarantee you could have tuned them up. But we're coming through our last hump right now, and it's 9 a.m. So I figured we'd talk for a minute, we'd wrap things up, and then I'm going to make a mile. I got a bunch of stuff to do today. There's one right there. On camera, on cue. What is it? It's a giant perch. Holy crap. Oh. My boat flipping techniques are not worth a crap today. But that was another big fat perch. He was over 10. Easy. There has been no one lure. We've been moving around back and forth. I have only fished shiver minnows today, but I have fished 3 different colors. I started out the morning, as always, with that brown glow goby. Then a little later on, I went to the chartreuse goby with the black dots on it. And now I've got, for lack of a better term, I'll call it a perch pattern, but it's got some foil gold on the side and a little bit of green on the back. It's pretty nice, and I've had plenty of bites on it. So, and Don's been switching back and forth between blades and shiver minnows, and also stuck a Brian hammer, B hammer tackle, hammer rig off the back. You had a walleye, big, nice keeper walleye, and a huge sunfish. Huge. So we've had 3 species today: walleye, perch, and sunnies. No sheepies showed up. We're coming right on this hump. That's why I turned you guys on. We're right on the sweet spot right here. Let's see if we can't find another one here on camera for you. What a perfect day. A little chilly this morning. It was a little chilly. I had my sock hat on this morning, which might have been a little sissy-ish, but whatever. I don't want to be cold in the middle of the summer. It was 50 degrees when we left the dock this morning at 5 a.m. 5-0 for August 2nd. That's chilly. That's one thing if it was the end of August and you were looking at Labor Day weekend and you start getting those cool mornings. This is a little early for mornings that cool, but we'll see. It's a gorgeous day. Winds out of the east, light. For a while there, I thought it was going to pick up on us and get bumpy, but it didn't. It's actually starting to lay back down. So we shall see what happens here. We're almost done. Like I say, we're going to drift across this hump and give it a good sporting college try, and then we're going to call it a day. Oh, we just saw a friend of mine come over and talk to us. He was in the same drift when we got out here. My buddy Fritz, who caught his personal best walleye this morning for the season. He said it was about 23 inches. And get this, he tells me, he goes, you're going to laugh at me, but in the confusion, somehow I dropped my rod over the side of the boat while I was netting the fish. And I'm like, oh my God, Don and I are both like, oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. He goes, no. He goes, it was, what was it? It was wrapped around the drift bag, the drift side?
No, the lure that he had a blade out the back, or a spinner out the back.
He had a harness out the back, which caught the line on the rod that he flipped overboard. So we got the rod back, which is awesome. But
that'd be a fish story.
yeah. So that's this. This is this other one I've been using here in the last hour. Also, this one came from Apps in Cleveland. Go see Rick for all your, like I say, he's got everything, but boy does he have a selection of jigging wrap style baits in about 6 different brands. So go give Rick a chance out of the Apps to earn your business. He definitely will do that. They have a great selection, nice local shop, and Rick's the best. He's been around forever. Come on, fish, you're on the clock here. And we're right dead center on this hump. So all around this hump is 22 to 24 feet, and we're in 16 right now up on the top of it. The one we started on first thing this morning, it was 17 on top and 30 to 32 all the way around it. When I was telling Don, I spent a week out here 2 years ago with the quick draw contour feature on my Garmin, which allows you to overwrite your lake view map or your whatever map you have loaded in your unit. It allows you to overwrite it with actual sonar data real time. And you're going to ask me, why is that important? I'm going to tell you that has been the single biggest change for the positive in my fish catching, is once I started using that feature, and then I can go and find, because now when you look at my graph and my GPS screen, it's telling you what's actually there and exactly where it is, not a generalization of these mapping company software. It's real. And so when I come into those humps, I always start on the upwind side and start checking them, but I know exactly where they are. And so that to me is a huge difference. You can't catch what you don't know where it is. And when you go into a spot and go, oh, I didn't see any fish, if you're looking in 3 spots that aren't the right spots, they may not be there. But when you know exactly what's on the bottom, then and how that lays out, finding those fish becomes exponentially easier. It's not always a no-brainer, and even if you find them, it doesn't mean catching them, but you can't catch what's not there. So that's my Sonar 101 for today. And I'm positive from talking to other people that own hummingbirds and Lowrances that you can do the same thing with any of them. So, all right, we're past the top of that hump. We didn't do anything on this one, which is shocking. This is usually my best one. So I think we're going to wrap it up for today, and I will see you guys out here tomorrow, somewhere, somehow. Thank you, and as always, awesome. Appreciate Donnie being with me. Keep your tip up.